Alright, hello everyone, this is Mr. Crozier. I'm going to help you get started on the worksheet for today. First, a little bit of review. If you have the sign of a negative x, what is that? Well, let's just try something here. Let's do the sign of 30 over here. If I do the sign of 30, well, that's a half. Now what happens if I make it sign of negative 30? Well, that would be down here. Well, what is that angle? That's a negative 1/2, so it outputs the same thing, but it outputs it as negative. So when you have the sign of negative x, you can just bring that negative sign out because it's a negative 1/2. Well, what about cosine? Well, what would the cosine of, let's do cosine of 30 degrees, and the cosine of 30 degrees would be this side right here, which would be √3/2. And what happens if I do the cosine of negative 30, which would be this bottom angle, of course? Well, that's still the same thing. So when you do the cosine, it is the cosine of x. The negative goes away because it's the same output. Alright, I want to help you guys solve one problem here. Alright, these problems will involve all the formulas that we've done in lesson 2.5. The sum, what do we have? We have sum, difference, half angles, double angles, sum to product, and product to sum, all 6 of those. So this is what you are dealing with on these equations, and they all come down to the same thing. Get it to the point where you have a trig function of anything is equal to a number, then you can solve it. So, well, what do you see right here? Well, obviously they're not the same, and I could take this sum and turn it into a product. So if I use that sum to product formula right here, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 sine of something. What do I do? Sine and then cosine. I just like to write it out like that. And let's see here. I'm going to add them and divide by 2. So if I add these, divide by 2 is 4x. And subtract them and divide by 2. Subtract them and divide by 2 would be 4x divided by 2 would be 2x. Now hopefully you've seen what I have here. Now I have 2 times a times b is equal to 0. I can go ahead and divide it up 2 ways and say sine of 4x is equal to 0, or sine of 2x is equal to, cosine of 2x is equal to 0. Alright, this one's a little bit easier over here. We have a double angle formula for this right here, which says cosine of 2x is 1 minus sine squared x. 2 of them. That is a double angle formula in your reference sheet. Go ahead and solve that. What would that be? If I subtracted that over there and divided, I'd have sine x is equal to 1/2. Sine squared, take the square root of both sides, equals plus or minus √2/2. Find the solutions for that. What are all those? Pi over 4, they're all the fourths, right? Now we come to this one, and we do not have an angle for this. So we're going to solve this like we did a few weeks ago in class. We're going to just pretend it's x. We're going to find when is x is equal to 0. And on sine, when is x is equal to 0? Well, that'd be at 0, and then pi, and then back and forth. So this is going to be how we could write out all the solutions. Remember, when we have this here, we are going to have to look for the general solution first. So the solutions for when is pi 0, I'm going to draw it out over here. It is here, pi is 0, then there, then there, then back and forth. Everywhere we're going pi, 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 pi. That is when sine is 0. The solutions for sine are 0 are x is equal to 0 and pi. However, if we're dealing with this, we're going to have to find a general solution. So this is our general solution right here. And then now that we have that, we can put a 4x back in there. 0 is nothing, so it's really just, well, let's leave it at 0. And now we're going to solve it. Divide everything by 4. Gone. X is equal to 0 divided by 4 plus pi over 4n. Well, that's 0 pi n over 4. This will generate all our solutions, meaning we're going to start at 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, plus 3 pi over 4, plus 4 pi over 4, plus 5 pi over 4, plus 6 pi over 4, plus 7 pi over 4, and 8 pi over 4 would be back to the 0. So this is messy. When you have this, you have to figure out the general solution first so you can generate all of those. Alright, when I put them together, what you notice is all of these are on here. So I don't need them again. So these are all my solutions. Just simplify them. What do I have? Pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, that's pi, 5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4. I know that's a lot. That's as hard as it gets. The problem was we have a formula for this, which makes it nice and easy. We do not have a formula for this. And when you have a multiple angle right there, you have to solve it for the single one as a general. And then you can generate the whole general solution, which is this here. And then you just start counting 1n, 2n, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till you reach 2 pi. Alright, they don't get any harder than this. This is as tough as it gets. Hopefully you can figure this out. And I hope this helps.